Student success will often depend on the individual. However, the perception that online education is not as successful as traditional face-to-face learning is now being questioned. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, 20% of domestic higher education students in Australia studied off-campus or externally. In 2018, 23% of the international students studying with Australian higher education providers were studying outside of Australia. Historically, Australian higher education providers have had extensive experience in distance and online learning, and a track record of achieving measurable and positive student outcomes. So how do we measure student outcomes? Our department funds a series of surveys known as QUILT, the Quality Indicators for Learning and Teaching. The surveys cover the students' experience throughout their higher education life cycle, from when they commence studying all the way to employment. They provide robust, nationally consistent data on how Australian higher education providers are performing and drives quality improvement. The surveys cover 4 areas: student experience, graduate outcomes surveys, longitudinal, and employer satisfaction. In 2019, around 260,000 students and 170,000 graduates participated in the QUILT surveys. So why do we need to measure these outcomes? It's an important way of knowing whether or not the frameworks, systems and quality of Australia's higher education is progressing and up to the right standard. Let's look at a few high-level snapshots from undergraduate students who studied via internal or multi-mode delivery compared to those who studied via external or distance delivery. As you can see, 2019 students were asked to rank their experience in categories including skills development, learner engagement, teaching quality, student support, learning resources, and quality of entire educational experience. The pink columns represent students who studied internally or in multi-mode, and the black columns represent those who studied externally or online. The data shows that skills development and learning resources categories were ranked closely between the 2 delivery modes. External or online students in 2019 responded with slightly higher ratings for their experience of teaching quality, student support, and the quality of entire educational experience. This challenges perceptions that external or online education provides an inferior student experience. The Graduate Outcomes Survey looks at how Australian domestic students go on to be employed. Here in Australia, employers don't look at a student's mode of learning as it's not listed on our degree certificates. Employers here only look at the qualifications awarded and the grades the student receives. This graph compares external online students and internal mixed mode students. What we can see is that online students outperform internal or mixed mode students in every category, particularly in full-time employment and overall employment. Of course, external online students are more likely to also be mature age students and may already be employed or have more professional experience. Australia's success in delivering online education comes down to a few factors. Providers and students both need to have the appropriate infrastructure in place, such as reliable IT systems, computer software and internet connectivity, access to an engaging course design and curriculum with flexibility to progress as technology advances, appropriately trained lecturers and tutors who can keep students engaged, support to ensure student success, such as access to grievance frameworks, academic support services, and student income support. And of course, the quality assurance frameworks we have covered in other modules, which build confidence and trust in the quality of online education provided. If you would like more information on student outcomes or Australia's QUILT surveys, please visit the QUILT website at www.quilt.edu.au. Next, we will explore how Australia developed and implemented the Australian Qualifications Framework, or AQF.